Why you black and poor? Now, I have a story about a friend of mine growing up. When we were younger, we had exams just before high school. Okay. And these exams, we were doing mock exams to prepare for the final exam. Right. We were about maybe 11 or 10 years of age. Right. So I had a friend, East Indian, good friend of mine though. And the car, we were outside the school's compound, and all of us were waiting, the boys, the girls, for their parents to come to drop them off. So they had a car come in the parking lot, and the car had a license plate, PAW. So we were like, Po. So he was basically saying that car's Po, PAW, PAW, Po, right? So when his mom came now to pick him up, on his license plate of her car had the word PAW. So we all started laughing, right? Because he's being a hypocrite in a sense. Now, why are a lot of black folks, right? Not all, because there's poor in all parts of the world, guys, right? Don't ever believe the idea that racism exists, because I don't believe that racism exists. I believe a different structure exists, right? I'm going to go into depth after, right? So why you may be black and poor, right? Or poor, right? So to understand that, you need to go back to the concept of vitamin D synthesis, okay? Vitamin D synthesis changes the perception of how we look at the different races. So what happens is when we have the people in Africa, right? Their skin was very dark, right? So it means that the vitamin D in the sun is plentiful. There's a lot of vitamin D in the sun, right? So there's a lot of exposures, not much winter. So their skin would have a lot more vitamin D exposed. So it'll be more exposed to vitamin D, so it remains dark. It stays dark to keep out that excessive vitamin D, right? The dark skin is used to scare away animals because animals have a darker light. They can't see in the dark as well as us. So when they look at a darker individual, they'll run. So the darker skin is used to ward off animals. Okay. Um, there are a lot of situations where you now go a little bit up north, right? Now, light skin, right? As you go up to the Caucasus Mountains, you go into England, you go to Germania, you go out into Gaul, French, right? What happens is you notice that people become white or lighter skin, okay? This is because there's a lack of sunlight due to the fact that it's winter for about 6 months, 7 months. So the skin itself doesn't need this needs as much vitamin D as it could extract from the sun, its environment. As I said before, there's a reason why vitamin D comes from our sun rays and not as much from our food. Most of our vitamin D comes from the sun because the vitamin D is used to regulate the skin colors. So what happens is there's a need for vitamin D, so the skin becomes lighter. Now, in order to understand that, once the skin becomes lighter, we need to know about the color codes. Okay, there are different colors along the spectrum. Right? Color psychology. We know that white, the color white, which I'm wearing right now to bring status. White presents status, security, a sense of well-being, honor, right? Now, black represents mystery, death, and again, from what I'm seeing, what I know, desires. It brings out the quote unquote animalistic desires in human beings. This means the drive, the sexual desires, whatever. I'm just saying, I'm not a part of that. Right? So this is what happens when you see black. When somebody wears white, respect, honor, professionalism. When somebody wears black, it is a sign of danger, chaos, etc. Right? So the white skin now, basically, the way it works is that it receives the sunlight. So let me explain. It's a very, very tough thing. If you're darker skin, right, as I said before, people are going to see you and they're going to see chaos, they're going to see desire, right? Now, this prevents the building of contracts. So when somebody sees you, if you're darker skinned, it's going to ward off contracts. So any contract that you make with different people or communities, the climate, they're going to see the skin tone and it's going to say, no, we can't do a contract with this person, right? Because the color code is desire, instability, but excessive fun. So when somebody sees a dark individual, they know, they can't do that, right? So that's why a lot of black folks don't have money, right? Because it's difficult to lock down the contracts. Now there are ways to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead in the next video. So like, comment, and subscribe. Look out for my next video. It's going to be in the series today. So like, comment, and subscribe.